Welcome to a tutorial about rearranging the stitches to transition from working in the round to working I-cord. This is quite common in Gnome designs for me. I'm Sarah Shira from Imagine Landscapes, and I design a lot of gnomes because they bring me absolutely a lot of joy. So what will happen is we will be narrowing things, and eventually we get to a point where we're knitting very few stitches in the round, and I would much rather knit those as I-cord than knitting them in the round. So we need to rearrange them, and that is a fairly simple process. So let's just anchor my needles as we go because we will be using fewer needles. Now, if you are using metal needles, this will be a much slipperier process, like for me. So what we need to do when we have stitches is to make sure we keep them in the right order. So one of the most important things is to know which one was the one you last knit. So what I like to do is the one that I last knit, I like to keep it as sort of the focus needle, and then all the other needles in order, sort of reverse order, just slide them over. So this is the last stitch I knit, the second last, then we've got one needle here with 2 stitches on it. So we're just going to slip those onto one needle. It doesn't matter whether we go from left to right or right to left, as long as we end up with the stitches in the right order, so that the yarn from the last stitch knit is coming off the leftmost stitch when we're looking at the back, or when we're looking at the right or for the back side, that this stitch here has got the yarn coming off of it. What that means is that when we go to what will be, it's very difficult to talk about I-cord. Is it a row? Is it a round? We will be knitting in the round, but by knitting flat, it's kind of funny. But what we want is that the yarn, when we go to knit, is coming from the far left and we're going to knit the far right. So that's how you rearrange stitches for I-cord. I hope that this helps you. There isn't a separate video for knitting I-cord. So I wish you happy knitting and happy gnoming.